Hey guys, way back in May, I mean who even remembers May, I popped up a video that was about how I had prepped my week in the life mini album. If you haven't seen that, I will link it up here. And then I did week in the life, although I generally do like my photo taking the week after Ellie and everybody else does their week in the life, because then it includes my birthday day as a general rule, and that's just something that's a personal preference. So I took all the photos. I even went so far as to print all of my photos out, and then nothing. Then I just did not work on this album at all. Cue a couple of months ago, I finally got to work. I put together an exclusive vlog for my patrons of me finishing this album, well, starting and finishing this album in 2 days. I managed to do all of this. And then I showed it in one of my favorites, my monthly favorites video, asked if you wanted to see a flip through, and cue another 2 months later, and finally here we are. I'm finally gonna sit down today and just quickly flip through this album for you. Pretty much everything in this album came out of my stash, and anything new in here is just digital products. So I bought a few digital products from Ellie Edwards. I also have used a lot of Inner Creative Bubble digital printables. I will leave a link in the description box to anything that I can that I've used. Otherwise you can assume that it came straight out of my stash, because my intention for this was to use as much as I already had. Plus, given I decided really last minute to do it, I didn't end up buying anything. Not that I needed to. I had more than enough to finish this. So in that prep video, I did show how I made this album, but I've just made my own like kind of chipboardy covers. They're just some really thick white cardstock. I have adhered some pattern paper. I think this is a crepe paper one, and a couple of little scraps onto here. And I've used a lot of acetate through this album. So these are just binder covers I bought at my stationery shop. I've cut one to the same size as my album, which I have sized to fit life crafted page protectors. So it's a slightly different size to a life crafted album, but it fits all of the page protectors. Plus I made my own daily dividers in here, which is very hard to see because they are acetate as well. And so the covers are sized so that it's going to cover up all of that, and those little dividers are not sticking out the edge of my covers. A few things in here are white vinyl that I've cut on my silhouette. These were digital files from Ellie's shop. And so this first one here I've just adhered onto my acetate cover. I did add the acetate on here just to kind of protect this pattern paper a little bit. Given none of this is in an album, it's just going to be sitting on my shelf. So I wanted to have a little bit of protection for the paper, and the acetate serves that purpose nicely. Now in my prep video I had, I think I had 1.5 inch book rings, maybe 1 inch, I can't remember, it was that long ago. And I 100% had to get bigger rings. It was never going to fit. The time when I prepped the album, I had that already. It was already pretty full, and I thought if I'm adding photos or any sort of bulk in here, it's not going to work. So I did end up getting bigger ones. I think these are 2-inch ones, and they only just fit. So I'm glad I grabbed those. They took forever to get here. We were still in a lockdown at that point, so it did take a long time to arrive. Luckily I had a long time to spare. So in that prep video I did share the free cut file for creating these life crafted dividers. These are in a set of 7, so one for each day of the week. And then I created gold vinyl like decals for each day, the first 3 letters of each day, just again with my silhouette and an outline, and I popped them onto the front of each acetate divider. So you'll see as we go through the album, I kept things really simple by creating a kind of template for myself, so each day looks really similar to the next. there wasn't a whole lot of thought involved. And so this is one of those repeating items. Every single day has one of these acetate dividers with the gold day of the week on there. In the same respect, every day also has this eight photo grid page to start off with underneath the divider, just with a snapshot of the day. I don't take billions of photos for week in the life. I try to take more, and I definitely take more than I do on a regular basis. But I'm still not snapping 1,000 photos a day, so sometimes these 8 photos are all I took during the day. But otherwise, I've picked and chosen 8 that kind of spread out from morning till night, and I've kind of put them in chronological order down the page. So that's all there is. I just did that in Photoshop. There are tons of photo template places that you could do that as well. And then as far as the photos throughout the day go, I have tried to make sure that each day has one full page photo. So that's 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. I've got a few 3 by 4 photos and then some smaller photos as well. So, and I've just added those in where it seemed appropriate. The other thing that each day has is this gratitude card. This is another Ellie Edwards printable. And I just printed them on 3 by 4 cards and added a strip of washi tape plus the date stamp for each day. That's the only dating that I've done in this album, but each day has one of these two. So Monday starts, and I've just added a black and white photo onto this coloured printable from In a Creative Bubble. It says totally awesome, but Shane was actually started the week sick, so it was not awesome. So I've just added a few little alphas to make that really clear, not totally awesome. And then a little chipboard from Citrus Twist. My 3 by 4 photo went in there super plainly. And then I added another 3 by 4 photo on the back of that page protector and just created another little card. This is a paper from Pink Fresh Studio. I think it's the Office Hours collection. I've used a lot of that in here as well. And I just trimmed that down to 3 by 4, added a label sticker, a puffy sticker, and a chipboard sticker. And then to kind of tie these 2 pages together, because the journaling is sort of talking about both of these photos, I just added a couple more stickers, a sticker and some enamel dots onto the top of my full page photo. And then on the back here, I've got another printable from In a Creative Bubble. This time I filled the middle of that with some pattern paper. I've added my journaling on vellum, and then I created this little iPhone sort of screenshot icon following a tutorial from Lisa from Freckle Pickle. I will link that video down below. It does use Photoshop, but it was really easy to follow. And then each day I was kind of taking screenshots of things we were watching or things I was listening to or emails, that sort of thing, just in case I wanted to use them. And then I just filled in the iPhone with the accompanying screenshot on here. And this page, like, I've only added 2 chipboards, so I was conscious of trying not to make anything too bulky in here. So Tuesday follows the same format. I've got my divider with the gold vinyl, my little 8 page 8 photo overall sheet. Then another printable. This time I put all of my journaling on one printable. There was no photo for this page. It kind of references my before and after of the washing that I had to do on Tuesday. And then on the back I've got my gratitude card. Again, it's that printable, and I just added some different washi tape this time, some cream puffs that I had made, and my full page was of my baking. And I just added a little cluster down the bottom here. These are a bunch of little die cuts that I had out on my desk from a Citrus Twist kit. And then on the back of Tuesday, I have another printable with another little black and white photo. I've added a lot more journaling into this album than I generally do on like Project Life or anything like that. So I've left a lot of room for that. And I've really simply embellished that with some enamel dot stickers. These were from Citrus Twist. And Wednesday follows that same pattern. So I've got my divider with the vinyl, my 8 photo page. And then this time I've added my full photo page first, and I did add my vinyl sticker onto the front of the photo. So this is actually on the photo, not on the page protector. This is another one of those digitals from Ellie Edwards, and even though this, like, these are tiny little stickers, the Silhouette had no problem cutting that in the vinyl. It did have a tiny bit of trouble transferring it onto the photo paper. There's a little bit of kind of sticky residue left on here from the transfer paper, but once you pop it into a page protector, it was barely noticeable. This 3x4 photo only has one tiny little sticker up the top, Wake Up and Be Awesome. Again, that's from the Print Fresh Office Hours collection. My gratitude card, I did try to repeat some of the washies, so I think there's 3 that repeat in here, and then there's one different one, but I tried to match the kind of pattern of the washi tape to whatever the kind of spread needed. This one picks up some of those pink tones in both my full page photo here and the full page printable on this side. So when I had things like, I ended up creating this kind of little mini layout here with another one of those iPhone photos. I didn't necessarily want it to go on this spread, so I popped it on the back and just added this one here from In a Creative Bubble as kind of a filler page. And again, I've got Office Hours on here. That's that same pattern paper as before. Just this time I've used just the grid portion of it, and I've trimmed out a couple little pieces. One to make a page flag down here, and one just to add a little bit of color to the top. And again, I've got 2 chipboards, so that's Office Hours and Citrus Twist. So like I said, this was my little mini layout. I'm just using some pattern paper that I had in that original kit from the prep video, and I've added a few little stickers from Office Hours and some little alphas, and that's all. It's actually really flat. The sticker from Office Hours had some kind of dimension, sort of foam behind it, and I just ripped all of that off so it was flat. The only thing that's got dimension on here is the alphas and the little enamel dots. So Thursday, same thing, divider, 8-page photo. I've got another full page photo here with another one of these vinyl stickers. I was a bit more careful with the transfer tape this time, so I didn't get any residue on there. And I added a little puffy sticker. This is from Office Hours, just on top of that. But I love how these decals come out on top of these darker photos. You could 100% achieve the same thing by using the digital stamps directly on the photos before you printed them. I just literally was printing out the photos so that I had something to work with. I didn't know how my album was going to come together, and so I didn't know that I wanted to use the stamp at the time. So the vinyl stickers kind of overcame that hurdle. I've got another gratitude card, another 3x4 photo. Lots of these photos are in really shitty lighting because we were in the middle of winter here, and so there is a lot of black and white editing happening here. It's my go-to when I've got crappy lighting. It just makes everything look better. There's less yellow tones from the overhead lights, and it's just my personal preference that I much prefer black and white. Especially on kind of a busy photo like this, it kind of makes it look a little bit more cohesive. Now on the back, I've got another 3x4, and I just made a little filler card. There wasn't really a whole lot else to say about this photo, apart from the fact that we were going on our daily walk, but I've talked about that on like 3 out of 4 days so far. So today I just used some more Office Hours stuff. There's a pattern paper trimmed down to 3x4, and I trimmed out one of the little note cards and then added a dimensional sticker, so this still has the little bit of foam on there, but apart from that it stayed really plain. And this was another printable from In a Creative Bubble, and it's actually 2 different printables. So one was a stripy paper and one had all of these stay phrases, which I really loved. But I've got a really heavy color theme on here with all of that peach, so this striped paper had, I think, some like blues and greens, which I trimmed off and added to the top of the original one. And then I created another little cluster up here, so I've got my whole like 3 points of interest going on in this one spread. And then on the back I used another printable, another little phone icon, and I added a bunch of journaling. The printable is black and white, and so to add a little bit of color, because my my screenshot was super dark, we finished The Office, I just added a few little bits of washi tape and some pattern paper and another little chipboard, just to add a little bit of color to it so it wasn't so boring and black and white. Friday, same deal. We've got the gold and gold hand acetate, 8-page photo, which I kind of enjoy when coincidences like this happen, when I've got the teal going on here. And so it looks, even though they're different days, it still kind of looks like a cohesive spread. Again, I've got my full-page photo up front because it was a very early morning walk. Here we go, talking about the walks again. I've got a printable, and I just added a little bit of pattern paper to it. I've also typed my journaling in pink here, just because there are some pinks in my photos. So I'm trying to pick up colors wherever I can, especially on these black and white printables. I've added a little die cut from Citrus Twist, I think, and then I added a tiny little paper flag. I just trimmed that out of the same pattern paper and added some alphas on top of there. So again, I've got this whole kind of cohesive color scheme going, which I really enjoy. It's another black and white printable, but I really liked how the pattern paper adds a little bit of color to that. So I've done the same thing again, and I've added the pattern paper into the middle with my little phone icon and a couple of stickers. And then I used that same washi tape again just to pull out those kind of green tones for my gratitude card. And just another simple sticker on my 3x4 photo. And then I decided to use this green and teal printable. That's another in a creative bubble, just to kind of do a little bit of list journaling. So the journaling doesn't really relate to any of my photos. I think I got to Friday and the photo taking was definitely slowing down, so I've created a little bit of list journaling to kind of pull out some of those things that I missed. And again, another little black and white photo on the back. It's very hard to see on this pattern paper, but I've used another of the white vinyl stickers here and just a little chipboard at the top. Saturday, divider, 8-photo page. Full-page photo. This time I added my journaling onto a tag, and just to kind of cover up this empty space at the bottom of my photo. And I'm using little pops of red this time. I had a couple of stickers, and because the Saturday gratitude card was in red, so I added just little pops of red. Red's not really my color. There's not a lot of red in my photos, so I added it with stickers instead. Another little vinyl sticker, another office hours paper trimmed down. This one has a little puffy sticker on it, so I added my journaling underneath, and then created this kind of, I mean, it's really hard to say, a mini layout on the side. This is a printable, and then I've added a couple of stickers to the bottom of it, again, kind of just to fill a page, because I've got my little mini layout on the back here. So another little phone icon. I really enjoyed using these. It's not something I generally put into my documenting, and so given that I was like not taking heaps and heaps of photos, it was interesting to have a little bit of a record of some of the things we were watching and doing phone wise. Now Sunday was my actual birthday day, so you would expect a lot more photos from there, but there actually wasn't. So I've got my 8-photo page, my full-page photo. My sister surprised me with some flowers, and I didn't want to kind of take away from them, so I added just some alphas at the bottom, and I've got a tiny little green page flag at the top. It was the only time I was ever going to use green, wasn't it, really? And then I've got this kind of color scheme going on here again. So Sunday, gratitude was blue, my photo was blue, and so I just added a few little pops of pink to kind of tone down the blueness and tie in this photo a little bit. And then I've got my blue printable on this side. So this time I did specifically print my photos so that it was going to fit perfectly on my printable. I'm just going to skip ahead because I printed the same size photo for the back. These were 2 printables I knew that I wanted to use for the Sunday, for my birthday day, because it was the only day of the week we did actually have a virtual hangout, a sort of family Zoom birthday party. So I printed my photo to fit on there, and again, to add a little bit of color back in, I've typed in pink and I've added some washi tape and a green sticker. This one was pretty full color, so I didn't need to worry too much about that, but I have typed the journaling in pink again just to be a little bit consistent. And I really spent the majority of my day playing in my craft room. So I've got a one little photo of that I took, and just a tiny bit of journaling with my favorite little coffee die cut on there. So that's it. That's my album. The back cover is just the same. I used the same pattern paper. It also has a piece of acetate on there to protect it. But apart from that, that was all done. This was one of those projects that kind of seemed overwhelming to start off with, which is probably why it took me months to even consider starting it. And like I said, once I got going, I really just left this out on my desk and it was done in 2 days. So I probably should not have wasted all of that time being scared of doing it, and just got stuck in and done it instead. So a few things that saved me were having that consistent kind of photo pattern, and the elements through there. It really did make it just a case of adding journaling and a few little embellishments and calling it done. Hey, thanks for sticking with me with this, guys. I'm sorry it took me so long to put this up. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've made it all the way through this video, congratulations. Otherwise, I will see you guys again really soon. Bye.